Welcome to the Remarkable Life podcast. I'm your host and today coach, Caryn Gillen, and I'm here with Jill Wright, and she is the hero of her own story right now. We'll just leave it at that. And we're going to coach on, I don't know what today. Jill, what are we coaching on?
I think it's this transition. There's part of me, the transition that I'm going through, um, trying to decide what my offer is and where I land in this space. Part of me feels like it's not going fast enough. And the other part of me is it's unfolding exactly the way it's supposed to. Um, I just feel like that is creating some cloudiness, some muddiness that
Mm-hmm.
is helping me not move more quickly in getting that next offer out there.
So, is your goal speed and completion?
Good question. Um, in some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
Okay.
Um, okay, so we'll do the no first. In some ways, no means the journey I've been on for the last year or so, as I've been discovering all of these things about who I really am, what I really want, how I really want to operate, says that it is in large part about the journey. So I don't want to rush through that. I do want to savor that, and not just because they say you should, but
Mm-hmm.
because I have truly seen so much value in that. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
the no part. And then the yes part is like, but I need to make some money. I need to pay my business
Yeah.
expenses.
Yeah. So you're like, I want to be a person who can be here now and be on the journey and be in flow, but I need someone to fund the journey.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So it makes sense that it's a little bit torn because you know where you want to be. You want to be someone who has an offer that people want, and you want to be someone who can just be in the flow and be on the road.
Yes.
Okay.
You nailed
Beautiful.
it.
Why isn't the offer clear already? And for people
That's
listening, Jill is a coach. And so I'm assuming this is a coaching offer, but I don't actually know yet. We're going to
Yes, it
find
is
out
a
together.
coaching offer. Yes, it is a
Okay.
coaching offer.
Yeah. So
Um,
why isn't it clear yet?
well, I think part of me is I mean, this is like the classic coach answer, right? The part of me is scared to put it out there because so many things that I have put out there in the past have flopped, or at least that's my brain's interpretation of them.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. I don't know how much of it.
And what's interesting to me is I think you just told me like I'm who I really am now, which would make all those offers in the past not who you were anyway,
Irrelevant.
which is also, it's like hard to sell who we're not,
Yeah.
right? So do we care what happened in the past?
No, but let how do I make my brain stop caring?
Yeah, brains. We have to
Yeah.
take them with us.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think there's a number of different tactics. One is just kind of more constant acknowledgement of like, I know you want to make meaning out of the past. And that's a really helpful thing
Mm,
sometimes. But right now, I'm in a new world and the old data doesn't apply. Or, what feels true to you if you were just to give it a message like that.
yeah. Um, yeah, I know you want to make it mean that what we were offering wasn't valuable. That's good. Um, but what if uh, what if all it means um, was that I wasn't connected to that value?
Yeah.
I can see that as true. Like I wasn't connected to that value because, and it's funny because I see this in so many of my clients.
Ah,
Because
okay.
yeah, and so what we do, or what I've seen them do, and what I now see myself doing is I say, I know what I have to offer is valuable, but for some reason, I don't connect what I'm doing, what I'm capable of, or what I'm not sure really how to articulate that yet, but as connected to that value. Like I'm still showing up as the person who doesn't know what they're doing, which may be true in a lot of areas of my business, but it's surely not true in my coaching and what I actually deliver to people. So
Right.
I think it's that maybe it's that connection that I need to sort of be with.
Yeah. Which is a risk
And
for all of us who do this work that's so kind of tied into who we are. It's like, oh, if I'm having upheaval or I'm having confusion or I'm having identity shifts or crisis in my own life, that changes everything in my business, even though it doesn't have to. Like every shift that happens inside of us doesn't have to change the offers that we have. It certainly can, but it doesn't. Like every single thing that happens doesn't have to change everything.
yeah,
But you have been through a big shift and it did
yeah,
change things substantially.
yeah.
So go ahead.
No, no, I'm listening.
Okay. I want to know what you know for sure because you're really clear. Like, I'm a coach. I know how to do this. I do a good job. There's these things I really help people with. Like, what are you sure about already?
What I'm sure about is my next offer is a group offer. What I'm sure about is that I am meant to build a community. So I want that group offer to at least start to align with that community that
Mm-hmm.
I want to build. Um, I know for sure that people need this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking of really any provider, really any entrepreneur, even people who aren't entrepreneurs need this because I think in this world today there is such a disconnect between who I really am and what I really want. And there's such a disconnect between what I really want and how I get that, or if I even deserve it.
Okay.
And that is such a big disruptor in people living their lives and being themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I want my community to be about. That's what I want my program to shift for people. It just I always get emotional talking about this because
Mm-hmm.
it shifts. I mean, um it just keeps people from being the beautiful people that they are, regardless of what they have, what they produce, what they know, what they don't know, what they do, what they don't do. I mean, I've seen it in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks my heart when I do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I I mean, that's what I really, really want is to just be able to do that and to do it like without abandon or with abandon. I always get that confused. With
What we know
abandon,
what you
I think
mean.
it is. Yeah.
With reckless abandon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I don't care. I want to do it no matter what. And that's kind of where I got to in my business. It's like, I'm doing this no matter what. I just want to not lose money anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay if I don't make any money, although that would be nice, but
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do this and I want to do it as me and I want to help other people do it as them. So that's kind of like my no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Okay.
know for sure.
Do you want me to share the offer that I heard just come out of you? Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it sounds like you're building a community where the values are connection, alignment, and authenticity.
Mm,
Potentially independence could be in there.
mm,
For me, it's either called in brackets reconnected or it's called connected. And the tagline is when you align who you are and what you want. Like this is a place where we do that.
mm.
And you help people be the beautiful people that they are.
Yeah.
And you do it in a group, which is what you said, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know how to do the work in there. And I know this is what you've done with yourself. So if you just said, I'm just going to start there, would anything get in your way?
Um, Telling people about it. I I think I still have this story that I'm not good at telling people about it. I'm not good at articulating the real value.
I mean, you just did a great job here,
Yeah.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're clearly
As long as I'm
passionate
willing
about it.
to, yeah, as long as I'm
If you're
willing
willing to cry.
to cry and trip up on my words.
Yeah.
So that's probably what's stopping me.
Well, and if you're saying, I want to host a community that's
That's
authentic
authentic.
and you're not willing to show up in your own authenticity, good luck selling it.
Yeah.
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 Like
It's like
it's
when we get in there, I'm going to be authentic.
right. No, you have to be out here. And this is, I think, what we're constantly doing. This is why I'm coaching you on the podcast. How do we find ways to bring the insides outside? How do we bring backstage, front stage so people can see it, see what we do, feel what it
Yeah.
might be like to work with us? So the real question isn't like, oh, I'm stuck on my offer. It's, oh, how do I talk about this, even though I have a voice in my head that says, but we failed before?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what you want to do.
Yes, I do. I mean, I
Yeah.
can picture it very
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah. So it's there. Like,
Yeah.
right. So I just want to be really clear that we're not actually having offer confusion.
Right.
Right. So,
Yeah.
what if we redefine the problem, knowing what we know now? What do you think's actually happening here?
I don't know how to be me in
Out
selling,
loud.
offering. Yeah. I know how to be me out loud as long as I'm not selling something.
Okay. So, you believe that you are not a salesperson?
No, I don't believe that. And I
Okay.
don't have a problem with selling.
Where's the disconnect?
I think it's the outcome. I think
Why?
it's
Yeah. Why would
the
people do
attachment
this
to
thing?
the outcome. Like how I talk about it is not going to be good enough, or how yeah, so maybe I need to establish it no matter what there. Like I'm going to do this no matter what because I don't like it's not costing me anything to put the offer out there. So I have
It's
nothing
free.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not, I have nothing to lose. So what if my voice about it can evolve during the selling?
Yeah. Because what you're selling is an evolution. And so generally the thing we're selling kind of makes us go through the process of the promise. And you're saying, come evolve with me. And the invitation for you is
It's not
go
evolving.
evolve
Yeah.
with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, let the
Yeah.
offer evolve.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Like
like that.
you can start this and it can be different in 2 months.
That I think we just hit something there.
Yeah.
Let the offer evolve.
Let the people evolve, let yourself evolve,
Ooh,
let the offer evolve. Yeah. It's what you really want, right? Like, because there's
yeah,
no way to show up in alignment, authentically connected to yourself and others and not evolve.
yeah,
If you do those things, it's pretty much impossible to stay the same.
yeah. So I'm not buying a move-in ready house. I'm buying a house that needs a little bit of work.
You're buying a piece of land
Yeah, there you
and
go.
you're like, I'm only bringing stuff on this land that I can't not be excited about and
Right.
that's not aligned with me. And you're like, that bathtub can't come here, but I'll take that
Yeah,
hot tub. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Truly designed from you from the ground up.
Custom built. Kind of like building the plane as we're flying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the thing that's really cool to remember about any offer is we're creating it as we go, but the people who come in are whole. And so there's always their values, their connection, their process, their alignment. There's always these whole things that make it no matter what the structure of the offer is, because the people are really it, right?
Right. Yeah, my
Yeah.
values are not going to change as the offer evolves.
Right.
And so they're not aligning with the offer, they're aligning with me
Most
and
of the
my
time. Yeah.
values.
Yep.
That's like that's huge.
So you're like, hey, come along with me.
Yeah.
Let's reconnect to everything that matters to you. So you can go have what you actually want, not just what you thought you wanted,
Yeah.
which is very much, I'm remembering your social media over the summer. You were road tripping like all over the place. It's very much what you did. You were like, and we're here now. Check this out. Look at this weird thing. Look at this cool thing. Like,
Yeah.
so I know you know how to bring people along with you.
Based on what I enjoyed or what I was interested on, I wasn't even thinking about like what are people going to be interested in?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that energy is important too, because I think we can lose ourselves in trying to find what they want.
Yeah. Right. I think the assumptions you can make is they're going to be a good fit for your community if they're wanting connection, alignment, and authenticity. And so if what you're putting out there is like things that align to those three things, that's going to be some pretty good guardrails for you.
And then all I have to say is come with me. This
Yeah.
is
This is
where
what
I'm
we're doing.
going. Come on. That's
Yeah.
the offer. Come on.
We're in this together. Is that a journey worth taking?
Is that a question for me or a question for
Yeah.
them?
Both. But
And
you first.
yes, yes, I'm excited now,
Yeah.
which is perfect because after this, I have a big block of time to work on it.
Oh, perfect. Great. So you can really just flush this out.
Yes.
Offer 1.0, knowing that offer 7.0 could be here before we know it. And that's beautiful and okay. And a part of your alignment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I truly believe there's other people that want to go with the flow and just think that they can't and that it's not going to work. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. There are so many people. I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say, like, I don't know, I'm always like trying to make it happen. And then the thing just worked out, right? Like I just like did that one thing that didn't make any sense and then everything worked out. That's the
Yeah.
flow, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone will tell you make great plans, but it's the flow because you took a step in a direction that makes things happen. We
That
have
you
to be
were
going
aligned with.
somewhere. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which is you. You're aligned with this
That,
program. Take steps
yeah.
towards it.
Yeah. That alignment is so important. I mean, I have learned the hard way that alignment is way more important than the technical
Yeah. Yeah.
side.
And I think what I want everyone to remember about alignment and about living from our values and about being really connected to ourselves is that it can be very disruptive to other people, right? And to
Yes.
your life. Cause it could be like, oh, I just realized that I'm out of alignment with how I'm living. And that could be really weird for the people you live with, right? It sounds like this beautiful word that we all want to like, oh, I want more alignment. So nice. Like, sort of sometimes. And also, it could be like something to really reckon with. So it's great to
Yeah.
have a space to go, someone to hold space for you when it's happening. So I can see the value in like, you really want to do the work of aligning? Get yourself a guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this for you.
So good. Me too. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for
I'm
being here.
so excited.
I'm gonna put your Instagram handle in the show notes so people can follow along as you invite them on the journey.
Oh, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. It was great to see you. First of all, I want to thank Jill for being here and sharing that because it's always helpful to hear someone else get coached. And I just think it's such a courageous and vulnerable act to get coached live for the public. So I appreciate it. And as I reflect on our session, what stands out for me are a couple things. The first one being sometimes the problem that seems like the problem is just the cover crop for what actually is the problem, right? So she was like, I'm pretty sure I'm confused about my offer and I don't know what to do. But it was very clear in not very many questions of her that she knew exactly what she wanted to do. But when we get to the point where we have clarity, that's when the next action steps come in. And that's where things can get tricky. And so oftentimes our subconscious or whatever will protect us from the next hard thing by offering confusion in a cozy place like, oh, what will my offer be? Or I'm not sure what to do next, or something that keeps you in inaction. So if we remove the layer of inaction and we allow ourselves to have the clarity that we actually have, then what comes up? Let's look ahead. If you think back to the session I had with Anik, this was sort of that same thing. If I quit worrying about this cover crop of a problem and I go to what would happen next, then I see what's getting in the way. And what's getting in the way is like, I have this belief that I don't create valuable offers or I don't finish what I say, or, any of the kind of things, the stories that we pick up in our youth and we bring into our adulthood. Like, I'm flighty or whatever the things are that limit you and that confront you continuously. So that's what I want to know from you. And you can reach out and let me know, tag me in stories on Instagram or whatever. What is it that is under the thing that the confusion is just like layering on top of? I want to know. And I want you to know for you. So if you remove that layer of confusion, allow yourself to have certainty, which feels nice for a little bit, right? Certainty is not bad um, in and of itself. Then what comes next? Then who do you get to be next? What do you get to walk into next? Is it skill development? Is it just some mindset work? Is it putting yourself out there, some vulnerability, some visibility? Okay, that's what we want to know. Um, and the other thing that came up for me is I have been hearing this phrase so much, and I just want to put it out there and talk about it a little bit. And that is who I really am. I am hearing clients at all different stages of life and all different economic levels. And like some of them are businesses and some of them are entrepreneurs and some of them are employees, but it's about this phrase of like, I know who I really am, or I'm letting who I really am out there. And I just wanted to put a nod towards that of yes, please. Yes, please know who you really are. And yes, please share it. And yes, please take steps toward aligning to who that version of you is, because I think that is where life gets good, not just for you, but the good you do grows. So if you're on one of those journeys of like, who really am I? Keep going. If you need my help, let me know. I'm here. And if you want to get coached on it on the podcast, this is an invitation for anyone who's just kind of been thinking that, like, I'm really moving into who I am, or I've spent years kind of being that version of me and now I'm this new version, or you feel like you're pulling the curtains back on being more vulnerable in your life or anything like that. If you want to get coached, hit me up. Let's have one of these sessions with you. All right. And just as a little teaser, there's something coming, and I don't even have it quite figured out yet, but it's going to be a group experience around your remarkable life. I've been doing the beta sessions with the people who have come in for that, and we're having fun. And not only are we having fun, like they're having some really big awakenings and shifts. And the other thing that's really cool is they're happening along the lines of the program without me even prompting that that's what we're working on that day. So the flow, as far as I can tell, is set up ideally. And I think the next thing we need to do is do it all together. And you get to get coached by me. And yeah, so if you're at all interested in that, keep listening, keep watching these spaces. I hope you're on my list. I'll put that link in the show notes. But yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here.